You know that feeling. It's Friday evening, your phone buzzes with an invitation, and something in you quietly hopes they'll cancel. Not because you dislike the people, but because staying home feels more honest than anything a crowded room could offer. Society has a word for people like this: boring, antisocial, a homebody. But what if the behavior was never the problem? What if staying home isn't about avoiding life, but about finally living it on your own terms? There's something most people misunderstand about introverts. It's not that they dislike people, it's that people cost them something. Psychologist Eysenck proposed that introverts operate with a naturally higher baseline of internal arousal. Their nervous system is already running close to its optimal level, which means crowds, noise, and constant social interaction don't energize them. They tip them over the edge. Extroverts, by contrast, run low on internal stimulation, so they seek it outward. People, noise, activity, these fill something. For introverts, those same things slowly drain the tank. This is sometimes called Optimal Arousal Theory. The idea is simple. Every person has a threshold, a stimulation level where they feel most alive and functional. Cross it, and you don't feel excited. You feel exhausted. For someone wired this way, a long evening of social interaction isn't energizing. It's expensive, and coming home isn't retreat. It's recovery. The quiet isn't empty. It's exactly what the nervous system was asking for, all along. Think about what the outside world actually asks of you. Strangers at unpredictable volumes, conversations that go nowhere but still require your full performance, noise you can't turn down, social expectations hovering beneath every interaction. Home is different. You control the light, the sound, the pace. For people with high sensitivity or anxiety, this isn't ordinary comfort, it's regulation. The nervous system, which has been bracing itself all day, finally gets permission to exhale. Psychologist Elaine Aron found that highly sensitive people process everything more deeply. More input, more emotional texture from every environment they enter. Home, then, isn't just a place they love. It's a place that keeps them functional, not a hiding place, a regulation space. There's a meaningful difference. There's a reason the best ideas rarely arrive in crowded rooms. Research found that people who spend time alone tend to score higher in creativity and are more capable of deep, sustained thinking. Not because isolation makes them smarter, but because without the constant noise of social performance, the brain shifts into a different mode. It starts connecting things, wandering, imagining. The default mode network, the part of the brain active during reflection and imagination, only fully engages when external stimulation quiets down. Scroll through any social feed on a Saturday night, and the message is consistent. Life is happening out there. Rooftop bars, group dinners, someone's birthday that became a whole production. The cultural script is clear. The good life is a full calendar and the permanent appearance of someone who never wants to be alone. But happiness that requires an audience isn't necessarily happiness. It's documentation. A peaceful night at home, unperformed, answerable to no one, can carry more genuine contentment than a dozen nights out that looked better than they felt. The problem was never that homebodies were living wrong. It's that the metrics were designed by people who need the noise. But this is the part that needs to be said honestly. Not every quiet evening is restoration. Not every cancelled plan is self-awareness. Sometimes the pull toward home isn't about preference. It's about fear, social anxiety that has slowly narrowed the world down to one safe room, and depression that makes leaving feel not just difficult but impossible. Old wounds that taught someone early on that other people aren't safe. The home that began as a sanctuary can, over time, become the only place that feels survivable. That's a different thing entirely. The distinction isn't always obvious from the inside. It rarely announces itself, but there is a question worth sitting with. Not to judge the answer, but to understand it. Are you staying home because it genuinely nourishes you, or because leaving has started to feel overwhelming in a way it didn't used to? There's something else that sets these people apart. They notice things. The specific weight of a favorite mug in the morning, the way afternoon light moves across a familiar wall, and the particular comfort of a couch corner that has over time become entirely theirs. To someone who needs constant stimulation, these details are invisible, but for people who genuinely love being home, these moments aren't small at all. They're the whole point. This is what researchers call savoring, the ability to fully inhabit an ordinary moment rather than moving through it towards something else. Their lives aren't empty, they're just built from the inside out, around texture, routine, and the quiet pleasure of a world they've designed for themselves. Psychologists call this low stimulation preference. It's not a disorder, not a phase, and not something that needs correcting. It's simply a different threshold, a nervous system that finds richness inward rather than outward. These people don't need the world to be louder to feel alive. Their inner world is already full enough. Not broken, not boring, just wired for depth over noise and peace over performance. And there is nothing small about that. So here's the only question that actually matters, and only you can answer it honestly. Is staying home something that genuinely fills you, or has it slowly become the easiest way to avoid something you haven't faced yet? Both deserve an honest answer. One is a way of living, the other is a place to begin. If this felt like something you've known for a long time but never quite had the words for, subscribe. Every week we go a little deeper into the psychology of how you're actually wired and why that's more interesting than you've been told.